For decades, when you think of space, you think of the United States. Landing on the moon, exploring Mars, sending probes out past our solar system, it's an incredible story. But how did one nation actually become the world's leader in space exploration?
Well, it's a story that unfolds over 60 years of intense rivalry, unbelievable triumph, and constant innovation.
You know, the journey didn't start with some grand, peaceful dream. It actually started with a shock that kicked off a fierce global competition.
But that shock lit a fire under an entire nation, leading to what is, without a doubt, one of the greatest technological and human achievements in all of history. And that legacy? It's still going strong today, transforming the cosmos into a brand new frontier, not just for countries, but for private visionaries too. So, let's dive in. Our story really kicks off not with a gentle dream of exploration, but with the cold, hard reality of the Cold War. Okay, so picture this. It's 1957, and the world suddenly wakes up to this faint beep, beep, beep coming from orbit. That was Sputnik, the first ever artificial satellite, and it was launched by the Soviet Union. For the United States, this was a jaw-dropping moment. This wasn't just about science, it was a massive statement about who was ahead technologically. It created this huge sense of national urgency, this feeling of, wow, we need to catch up and we need to do it now.
The American response was incredibly fast and focused. Just a year later, in 1958, the United States founded NASA. The mission was crystal clear: pull together all of America's non-military space efforts into one powerful organization that could not only catch the Soviets, but ultimately blow right past them.
All right, so NASA is established, and the stage is now set for probably the most ambitious goal of the entire 20th century.
When President Kennedy made that famous declaration, it wasn't just a political challenge. It was a massive call to action that got an entire nation moving. It focused incredible resources, brainpower, you name it, on one single, seemingly impossible target: put a human on the moon before the decade was out.
And the result of all that effort was the Apollo 11 mission. Just an unbelievably complex series of incredibly daring steps. I mean, from the sheer raw power of the Saturn V launch to that nail-biting, delicate landing of the Eagle module, every single stage was a monumental achievement of engineering and just pure courage.
And then, in 1969, they did it. That goal was achieved. Neil Armstrong's first step on the moon. That wasn't just a win for America in the space race, it was a moment of shared human triumph that absolutely inspired the entire planet.
But, after the moon, the big question was, what's next? The focus had to shift. It went from a race to a single destination to something different: learning how to actually live and work in space for long periods of time.
And you can really see this strategic pivot when you compare the two eras. Apollo was all about these massive, powerful, one-and-done rockets built for a specific destination. But then the Shuttle era came along in 1981, and it introduced this revolutionary idea: a reusable spacecraft. The whole point was to make getting into low Earth orbit, that area just a few hundred miles up, something routine and way more affordable.
And really, the ultimate expression of this new wave thinking is the International Space Station. This wasn't a race anymore. Space exploration became this huge collaborative effort. The ISS is up there right now, this permanent laboratory in orbit, and it's just an amazing testament to what we can do when nations decide to work together.
And while humans were learning to live in orbit, America sent out its robotic explorers to venture much, much farther. I'm talking about this incredible fleet of rovers: Spirit, Opportunity, Curiosity, Perseverance. They basically became our eyes and hands on Mars, sending back tons of invaluable data and really paving the way for humans to eventually go there. So that brings us to today. Right now, the entire landscape of space is going through another massive change, and this time it's being driven by a whole new set of players. The real key to this new era? It all comes down to economics. Private companies have completely changed the game by tackling the cost. By figuring out how to make reusable rockets, they haven't just made it cheaper to get to orbit, they've completely flipped the script, opening up space in ways we could have only dreamed of before.
I mean, companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin are the ones leading the charge now. Their relentless focus on reusability isn't just a cool tech demo. It's creating a whole new economy in space. It's making everything from launching satellites to actual human spaceflight our real commercial business.
But why does any of this really matter? Because this whole journey has never been just about the rockets and the budgets. It's so deeply woven into our culture.
This idea of space as the final frontier has inspired generations of people through movies, books, school. It creates this constant stream of dreamers and doers who want to push those boundaries.
So, when you look at the whole picture, America's leadership in space isn't really down to just one thing. It's this powerful mix of Cold War competition, big, visionary goals, decades of investment, mind-blowing technology, and this deep, lasting cultural fascination with just exploring what's out there.
And now, as all these private companies and new countries join in, the pace of everything is just accelerating. The story is so far from over, which leaves us with a big question, right? What's going to be humanity's next giant